Let me tell you a quick story. A friend of mine, smart guy, successful, grounded, met this woman he thought was perfect, beautiful, confident, fun, and early on she'd say little things like, "You're too nice, it's kinda boring," or "I like a little chaos in relationships, it keeps it exciting." He laughed it off, thought it was harmless. Fast forward a year, and that same woman was playing emotional chess games that left him questioning his worth. See, we often think the red flags are hidden, buried deep behind actions or months of behavior, but truth is, they're in plain sight, in her words, early on. The problem isn't that she didn't show him who she was. The problem is, he didn't believe her. So today, I want to give you something powerful. Not the usual, look out for this toxic phrase list, but something deeper. A way to recognize, through her language, what kind of relationship you're about to walk into. Because sometimes it's not about catching her in a lie, it's about hearing the truth she's already telling you. Let's break this down. Point 1. I don't do drama, but people just can't handle me. Bro, listen to me for a second. If a woman ever says to you, "I don't do drama, but people just can't handle me," don't let that slide. That's not confidence. That's not sass. That's a walking red flag with lipstick on. She's not telling you she's misunderstood. She's telling you there's a trail of emotional chaos behind her and everyone else is the problem. Think about it. If everywhere she goes, there's conflict. If every relationship ends in fireworks and fallout, and the only thing all those stories have in common is her, come on, man. That's not a coincidence. That's a pattern. And here's the trap. Guys like us, especially when we're empathetic, we think, nah, she just hasn't been with someone who gets her. So, we try to be that guy, the calm to her storm. But what ends up happening? She starts the storm with you, and now you're the guy walking on eggshells, explaining her behavior to your friends, questioning your own reactions, constantly trying to keep the peace. That's not love. That's emotional babysitting. You want a relationship that adds peace to your life, not one where you're constantly recovering from it. So when she tells you she's too much for people, hear it for what it really is. She's not misunderstood, she's unmanaged. And you're not here to be her emotional handler, you're here to build something real. Point 2, I'm used to being disappointed by men. Alright bro, if she ever says, "I'm used to being disappointed by men," don't brush that off. Because that's not just a casual comment, that's a mindset. And what she's really saying is, I already expect you to fail me. You're not walking into a clean slate, you're walking into a courtroom and she's already made up her mind. Every small mistake, every imperfect moment, it won't just be about you, it'll be stacked on top of every dude who came before you. And that's a heavy burden, man, because you'll start trying to overcompensate, proving you're not like the rest. But no matter what you do, it won't feel like enough. You're not responsible for healing wounds you didn't create. You're not there to fix her past. You want a woman who sees you for who you are, not through the lens of every guy who let her down. If she's still holding on to that pain, that's her journey. Respect it, but don't make it yours. Point 3, I know I can be a lot. Alright man, listen. When a woman tells you, "I know I can be a lot," don't take that lightly. That's not just a cute little warning, it's a preloaded excuse for chaos. She's not just saying she's emotional, she's saying, "I'm gonna overwhelm you, overreact, push boundaries, and I expect you to deal with it." And here's where most guys mess up. We think, yeah, but I can handle her. I'm built different. Bro, that's how you get caught. Because over time, a lot turns into too much, and now your peace is constantly under fire. You'll start tiptoeing around her moods. You'll avoid bringing up how you feel just to keep things calm. That's not a relationship. That's emotional survival mode. A woman who's actually self-aware will work on herself. She won't throw chaos your way and call it personality. So don't make it your mission to handle her. You're not supposed to carry her emotional weight. Just share life with someone who actually brings balance. Point 4, I don't need a man, I want one. Alright bro, this one sounds good at first. I don't need a man, I want one. Sounds like independence, right? But here's what I've learned. A woman who truly doesn't need a man doesn't feel the need to say it. She just lives it. Quiet strength, no announcements. But when she says it with attitude, with that little edge, what she's really doing is setting the tone for power. She's saying, I'm letting you be here. Don't forget that. Now that might not seem like a big deal at first, but over time, you'll feel it. You'll feel like you're constantly trying to prove your worth being kept around. And here's the thing, real connection, it doesn't come from power struggles. It comes from mutual respect. You're not applying for a position in her life. You're offering a partnership. A woman who's balanced won't downplay your value just to flex hers. So don't fall for the packaging, bro. Strength isn't loud. And real love never needs to remind you that you're lucky to be chosen. Point 5. I don't like labels. Alright man, let's talk about this one. I don't like labels. At first it sounds chill, like she's just taking her time, going with the flow. But if you're not careful, you'll blink and realize you've been in a fake relationship for 6 months. See, when someone says they don't like labels, what they're usually saying is, I want the benefits of being with you, without the responsibility that comes with it. They want your time, your energy, your loyalty, but they don't want to be held accountable for anything. And here's where guys get stuck. You think if you just keep showing up, proving your worth, eventually she'll get serious. But it doesn't work like that. A woman who truly wants something real doesn't hide behind vagueness. She's clear, she's intentional. So if you want commitment, don't settle for confusion. If she won't define it, that is the definition. You're not an option, you're not a placeholder, you're a man with value, so act like it. Point 6. You're so lucky to be with me. Bro, if she ever says, you're so lucky to be with me, pay attention, not to the words but to the tone behind them. Now, sure, in a playful moment, it might just be flirting, but when it's said with attitude, when it becomes a pattern, that's not confidence, it's entitlement. What she's really saying is, I'm the prize, and you better keep proving you deserve me. And trust me, that dynamic gets toxic fast. You'll start walking on eggshells, trying to avoid mistakes, trying to stay on her good side, and before you know it, you're not showing up as a man, you're showing up as an employee, hoping not to get fired. The truth, real connection is mutual. Real love says, we're lucky to have each other. So if a woman constantly positions herself above you, if she makes it feel like she's doing you a favor by staying, walk away. Because the moment you start trying to earn your worth in someone else's eyes, you've already forgotten your own. At the end of the day, it's not about catching red flags. It's about trusting your gut when something feels off. The right woman won't confuse you. She won't test you. She'll speak with clarity, and love will feel like peace, not a puzzle.